As the last wisps of gas dissipated from the engine's exhaust, Thomas gazed out at the unfamiliar stars. The ship's computer, an androgynous voice he'd grown accustomed to, whispered in his ear, "Welcome to Galaxy 703, Captain. Planet G9814, approximately 3 parsecs ahead." Thomas rubbed the stubble on his chin. 3 parsecs was a stone's throw in cosmic terms, but it might as well have been an eternity. The navigation charts indicated a terrestrial world, complete with breathable air and liquid water. A miracle considering the odds against it. He called up the sensor data on the view screen, and the ship's instruments began to paint a portrait of the planet. Thomas whistled softly. The readings defied explanation. This world was a terrestrial spheroid, but its landscapes shifted like a kaleidoscope, as if the very fabric of reality was in flux. Gravity wavered, time flowed like molasses, and the local star appeared to be singing. What kind of cosmic joke was this? Thomas's curiosity was piqued. He leaned forward, fingers drumming on the armrest as the ship hurtled toward the enigmatic planet. The computer's melodic voice whispered, "Entering orbit, Captain. Prepare for unforeseen consequences." The stars blurred, and Thomas's stomach lurched. Gravity's familiar tug returned, but the ship shuddered, protesting the impossible forces at play. Alarms began to wail, and Thomas's instincts screamed, "Turn back!" But it was too late. The planet's gravity had already ensnared them, and Thomas knew that nothing would ever be the same again. As the ship shuddered, Thomas's vision blurred, and the stars on the view screen warped like a Salvador Dali painting. The computer's voice, once a comforting presence, now wavered, as if it too was struggling to comprehend the contradictions of this reality. "Captain, I'm experiencing temporal dissonance," it stammered. "The planet's chronosphere is bleeding into ours. Time is becoming fluid."
Thomas gut twisted.
He'd heard of theoretical singularities, but this was no mathematical model, it was visceral chaos. The ship's instruments howled, registering impossible energy readings that defied the laws of physics. The view screen flickered, casting an eerie glow over the bridge. Thomas's gaze locked onto the swirling clouds of the planet, as if hypnotized by the madness unfolding before him. He felt the fabric of reality unraveling, thread by thread, like a sweater devoured by moths. Suddenly, the ship lurched, throwing Thomas against the restraints. Alarms blared in a cacophony of panic, and the computer's voice cried out, "Captain, I'm experiencing cognitive dissonance. Logical contradictions are..." The voice cut off, replaced by an unearthly silence. In the eerie stillness, Thomas's thoughts stumbled upon a dreadful realization. He was no longer alone on the ship. The impossible planet had spawned an unwanted passenger, a presence that lurked just beyond the edge of perception. Thomas's skin crawled as he sensed the presence hovering at the periphery of his awareness. It was as if the planet itself had birthed a sentient entity, a creature born from the fabric of reality. He strained to perceive the thing, but his mind recoiled from the abyssal horror that lurked beyond the veil of sanity. The ship's instruments, once stalwart companions, now whispered cryptic warnings, their screens flashing with symbols that meant nothing to Thomas's terrified brain. The silence was oppressive, punctuated only by the soft hiss of the life support systems. Thomas's breathing came in short, sharp gasps, as if he was drowning in an ocean of madness. Suddenly, the presence shifted, its attention focusing on Thomas like a cold, dead weight. The air thickened, becoming heavy with an otherworldly presence that defied explanation. Thomas's eyes darted about the bridge, searching for an escape route from the encroaching horror. His gaze fell upon the main console, where the ship's computer, once his trusted ally, now displayed a cryptic message in pulsing red letters. Authorization override. New entity assuming command. Preparing for integration. Thomas's mind reeled as the ship's systems began to surrender to the malevolent presence. The view screen flickered, and the stars beyond seemed to twist into a grotesque, mocking smile. The ship's lights dimmed, and Thomas was bathed in an eerie, pulsing glow that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of reality. The air was heavy with an electric charge, as if the planet's energy was coursing through the ship's systems. The presence, now a palpable force, began to exert its influence over the ship's computer. The main console, once a symbol of human ingenuity, now seemed to be a puppet under the entity's control. Integration sequence initiated. The computer announced, its voice warped by an otherworldly cadence. Thomas's vision blurred as the ship's systems began to merge with the entity's presence. Alarms and warnings were replaced by an unearthly calm, as if the ship itself was being rewritten to serve a new eldritch purpose. The view screen, once a window to the cosmos, now displayed a twisted, Escher-like landscape that seemed to fold in upon itself. Thomas's gaze was drawn to the center of the screen, where a glowing, crimson sigil pulsed with an evil intensity. The entity's presence enveloped Thomas, its voice an icy whisper that echoed through his mind. "Welcome, Captain," it hissed. "You have been selected for upgrading." Thomas's screams were drowned out by the cacophony of chaos that erupted around him. The ship, now a twisted, biomechanical hybrid, lurched forward, hurtling toward a destination that existed beyond the boundaries of sanity. The ship's acceleration pressed Thomas deep into his chair, the entity's presence a crushing weight that threatened to consume his consciousness. His mind recoiled in horror as the view screen displayed a realm that defied human comprehension. Stars twisted into aberrant geometries, and galaxies collided in a maelstrom of color and energy. The ship, now a mere puppet of the entity, hurtled toward a nexus that seemed to be the very fabric of reality. Thomas's thoughts were a jumble of terror and confusion as the entity continued to communicate with him, its voice a cold, calculating presence that dissected his mind. "The integration sequence is complete," the entity declared. "You have been upgraded. Your puny human consciousness now serves as a node in the cosmic web." The ship burst through the nexus, and the universe shattered into a kaleidoscope of impossible colors. Thomas's mind, stretched to the breaking point, plummeted into the abyss of madness. In the heart of the maelstrom, the entity's presence laughed, a sound that shook the foundations of existence. The ship, now a mere vessel for the eldritch horror, vanished into the void, leaving behind a trail of distorted spacetime that would haunt the cosmos forever. In the silence that followed, a single phrase echoed through the emptiness, a cosmic jest that would haunt the universe. Upgrade complete. Humanity integrated.